Okay, I believe we are alive. Oops, oh my goodness. Hang on, just getting settled here. Welcome. I can see the chat. We're keeping it simple today and just doing a straightforward live on YouTube. And I hope we are good. I'm just going to say welcome. Alrighty. And can I see the chat now? Oops, it does not. Welcome. Okay. Let me see participant. Okay. Alrighty. We are going to get started here in 2 seconds. I am wanting to just make sure we are going. All right, so I am going to trust that everything is working here. Okay. Beautiful. So welcome to my Way of the Horse Wednesday live. This is going to be based off of the Linda Kohanov's Way of the Horse card deck, in case you're not familiar. And before we get started, I just wanted to be very, very clear, and we'll say a little prayer too, but I want it to be really, really clear, crystal clear. This is so important to me because I will tell you that I was kind of on the fence about doing this, but I feel the message that I'm getting and what I'm getting from God and Spirit is that as long as I am crystal clear about my intention and really empowering or enlightening you, anyone who views this, to the way to use this. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So let me just start off by, we never, ever, ever want to give our power away to anything outside of us. So that includes cards, that includes maybe, a guru or someone you might be following, that includes astrology, right? These are all just information, and we do not want to give our power away to it. And the reason this felt really important for me to share this is because there was a time, once upon a time, because I have been playing with the cards for a while, and there was a period where I was feeling kind of lost, and I will say that I was really almost like addicted to listening to the different tarot card readers and all of that. And I was, essentially giving my power away. And I want to make sure that you don't do that. I want to make sure that you take what resonates, take the best and leave the rest. Don't try to make something fit. And, at the end of the day, to use your, what I like to call divine discernment around what feels true, what feels good for you. And one of the ways that I like to determine for myself if something feels good or true for me is actually to not only check in with my inner wisdom and, body sensations, and ask myself if something feels light, then it feels right. If it's feeling heavy or constrictive, those are all not truth. They are lies. Okay. Anyway, so really want to invite you to practice your divine discernment and just not giving your power away to anything outside of yourself, in a nutshell. Okay. So that being said, I do read intuitively, and what I'm going to do today, my plan is there's one card that I already pulled for sort of like an overarching message for, today. And we know time is fluid, so this reading is timeless whenever you find it, okay? And if you are drawn to it, just trust that there's something in here for it. Again, using the parameters that I shared beforehand. And then I will be pulling one card for each of the elements. So the earth, fire, water, and air elements for, the zodiac. And I want to take a moment to also talk about that too, that goes in line with what I was sharing. And that is, for example, I'm a Virgo sun, Aries moon, Pisces rising, okay? Those are three pretty common areas that we look at in our natal chart. And what I want to invite you to do is, for example, if I am, reading the card that, and I'm going to just shuffle while I'm talking here. If I'm reading the card that comes out for Earth, and say you are also a Virgo sun, take everything with that grain of salt. Don't, again, just because you're a Virgo, feel like that has to fit, okay? Because there are so many facets, like a diamond, to each one of us, and we all have all of the elements, all of the signs within us. And so again, on any given, day or different seasons and cycles of our life, there are different influences. And so I really, again, just want to highlight the piece around trusting your discernment. And the other piece I also want to bring in that's coming through is to really, that piece that I was saying around to trust how it feels. Honestly, how a particular message feels to you in your body, in your emotions, in your energy, okay, is actually way more important than perhaps the message itself. So in other words, if you feel triggered, or if it makes you feel lighter, or it excites you, those energies, those emotions are more important than the message. And so I hope that you can hear that and receive that as maybe a tip to practice building your divine discernment and your intuition muscles. Okay. All right. I don't want to, I probably, harped on that enough, but that just felt like what wanted to come through. And then I'm just going to do this last little, I'm not doing a great shuffle here, and we're going to do a little prayer, but I want to put these down while we say the prayer to just make sure that we are calling in the divine source energy with us today. Let me deliver the accurate and the highest good messages that want to come through for those who tune in today. Let them, again, please take the best and leave the rest. Please also call in those who are meant to hear these messages. And I ask also that whatever comes through, with the cards as a tool, that the information and the insights are always for the highest good of all concerned. So thank you, God, for allowing me to channel these messages from you while playing with these cards as a tool to give us some direction on this platform today. So thank you. In the way of the highest good, it is done. Amen, aho, and ashe. Thank you. And so let me do one last kind of shuffle here, because I was talking and I'm apparently not very good at multitasking. Okay, and then we're gonna just slice this here, and I'm gonna put this aside for a moment. The card that I pulled for the overarching theme, and again, I mentioned that I read intuitively, and I just want to check. I don't really know. Let's see. It's the first time I'm doing it this way. I can't tell if there's any. I hope the chat is working, but all right, we're just going to go with it here. So today is the 15th of September at the time of recording this. So I intuitively was guided to go to card number 15, okay? And I just want you to see that. The other thing that you may want to do, in addition to checking in with your feelings when I'm sharing messages, but also when you are looking at the card yourself, there, that's a better angle, to really tune into any messages, hits, feelings that you get when you see the card. That would be personal to you in terms of how you might receive any insights, okay? So I just want to give you a moment or two to feel into it for yourself, and then I'll share with you my take, and then a little bit from the book. All right, so this is card number 15, and actually I'm going to hold this here, and I want to talk about the number 15 for a moment first, because I am also all about numbers. And the number 15 is actually a really powerful card, number of a transformation. If you add the 1 and the 5 together, we get a 6, right? And 6 is all about, and I'm going to see if I can put that here for you. Maybe would that stay? Oh, that's not a good place. Okay. Obviously, we're going to have to find a way to do this, but I'm going to just set this down for a moment. Maybe you can see it here. There you go. Okay. So the 15, we were talking about 6. 6 is for me like the cosmic parent. If you think about it, it's kind of like having, this pregnant belly or baby, right? With that 6 there. And really for me, it brings in the messages of self-care, of nourishment, of nourishing yourself first and others, putting your oxygen mask on first. And also it's about creation, right? It's about creativity and also our emotional body. Okay, in a nutshell, I just wanted to bring that in, but I thought it was really powerful that this card came through today, just in light of even the overarching theme of what's going on in the world. And this card actually has to do with vigilance. And I want to take a moment and read to you a little bit from here, and then I'll share with you anything else that I want to add from my own intuitive hits. So the card is 15 and it's called vigilance. And of course, with horses being prey animals, just the essence of being vigilant or hypervigilant is going to be really pertinent because they are hardwired for survival, right? So I'm going to read here. She has, it's nature's warning system. Anxiety associated with change. Again, who isn't feeling that right now, right? And really the choice or the option of fear or vulnerability, right? And vulnerability brings strength. Okay. And so, and I'm laughing because I wanted to share vulnerably that I was trying to get the lighting and the, in a way, the camera in a way so you could see the cards while I was doing this, and it was kind of dark, and then I'm like, oh gosh, the windows are, whatever, I don't do windows. I'm like, anyway, so I'm being, vulnerable. I am, I set this up the best I can anyway, so it was just a little side note that wanted to come through. So here she says, the white horse at the edge of the herd catches the wind of possible danger. Is it time to flee or fight? Is it time to relax or go back to grazing? The gift of this card, of this message, is fear is nature's warning system, protective intuition that, if used intelligently, can help you safely navigate unknown territory on your way to greener pastures, which I love. The challenge, of course, is because most people are conditioned to see fear as a weakness. Learning which fears to heed and which fears to overcome can be confusing. The key lies in determining whether you're dealing with a legitimate external threat or an internal threat, i.e. a challenge to your self-image and or belief system, okay? And so, again, I'm sure you're familiar with the saying, that fear is false evidence appearing real. And again, discerning here, if you have a fear, is that fear, like Anyway, is that fear. My perfectionista just realized that computer was in the side of the picture. Anyway, that fear, is it something that's really legit? Are you crossing a busy, street and really need to be vigilant and aware and, look both ways before you cross? Are you out in the woods and there's a tiger or a bear or, whatever it is, right? Those fears are, legit, life-threatening, right? You need to be careful. And yet, this other fear that is actually infusing our collective right now, that with all the change that's going on in the world, so many are really in this place of anxiety and uncertainty and panic and fear, right? And while that is understandable to have those emotions or feelings, it is also not necessarily helpful in terms of letting it run or control our day, our life, our decisions, right? We want to, I feel, befriend on a certain level, like, really sit with what is that fear and is it real and how can we befriend and shift that to alleviate the fear. And again, every situation is going to be different. And what can we do to really come back home to ourselves, to plug into our source, the God of your understanding, to really strengthen your trust in God, in the world, in the universe, and yourself, to actually make decisions and know that you've got this. Okay, so I think it's a really fitting card for today. And the other thing that's coming through for me when I look at this card a little bit more, there is, the horse is white. And for me, white is, a very, it's a pure, it's a divine, it's a really, it's of the light, right? It's this really beautiful illumination energy. And then, the background, it's kind of like a lavender grayish, and that lavender brings in for me some of the, the crown chakra, and really being open again to that divine wisdom. And when we plug into source and connect with these energies and our higher self, right, we can really, again, better navigate any type of fearful energies moving forward. Also, the other piece is you can see the horse's nose, is flaring, and obviously is really like, paying attention. The ears are alert and, really, really paying attention and taking it all in. And here's where I think when we can lean into that wisdom of horse, of being present, right? Of really, really just taking a few moments, from a place of like just observing, with our eyes, as well as our breath, with our ears, right? Just observing and taking it in, whatever is going on within and in your environment, right? And now you have a lot of information to help you make your decision or your next move or that baby step, right? So, this, for me, the powerful message is of, being aware, expanding your awareness, and doing it in a way that, despite all of the fear that's going on in the collective at this time, can we still choose love? And can we choose to make our decisions from that place versus, living in that fear, getting paralyzed, for example, and not, making any moves or taking any action, and or, taking action to play it safe and not really following our heart, if you will. I could have, when I made the decision to come over here to YouTube from my Facebook group, right? I could have gone into fear, excuse me, And I did for a little bit initially, like, oh, what is everyone going to think of me? Oh, I should, like, the wise thing. I already have, a community here that I've built, and my YouTube channel is much smaller, right? And really, if I was in a place of fear, I could have talked myself into should stay over there and, focus on my energy over there and not come over here or whatever. Anyway, I'm just giving an example, right? But instead, I chose to follow the energy that felt lighter to me, that was in my heart, and really the way that my soul was guiding me and leading me, and God, to move forward. So anyway, just just want to share an example there. And we've got some left here. Okay, so I hope that makes sense and is helpful. I'm feeling to do one more shuffle here, and we're going to start off with the fire elements. And of course, the fire elements are the Aries, the Sagittarius, and the Leo. And let's see what your message is for today. So, fire. Oh, wow. How fitting is that? So I love this card, and it's so, perfect, because we're talking about fear, we're talking about prey and predator, and then the opposite of fears, right? Having courage, right? So this card, let me look at the number, is number 7. And I'll give a little more from the book in a moment, but I know this card well. I'm really excited that it came through, and that to really support us in terms of alchemizing really our fear into courage. And really we do that through the heart space. And I love that the lion is in this heart space of the horse, right? And together, when we balance our prey and predator, when we balance our courage and our and our fear, which again has its place, right? Being aware of it, not ignoring it, but allowing it to give us information, but then again still choosing from the heart, choosing from a place of courage. So that is really, really beautiful. And then it is also fitting, since the Leo is the lion, right? And that's a fire sign. So again, the fire, Aries, Sag, and Leo. This is the message that wants to come through for you today. The 7 is about wisdom. It's about divine downloads. It's like getting that, lightning bolt inspiration, right? And then bringing it down to earth. If you think about that 7 coming down, right? So this is a really beautiful card of integrating our fear, which really a lot of it can live in our mental body, right? And then calling upon our heart again for that courage, as well as the lower part of the body, right? In terms of embodiment, integration, alignment, right? To really move forward and pursue, to take aligned, inspired action and pursue your dreams and your desires at this time. So powerful. Let me just take a moment. Any other, the colors on here are all, like kind of gold and brown. And for me, it's just really about 2 things. It's kind of really connecting with the earth, right? So that grounding, and so you feel safe and stable and secure. And then, for me, it's also about connecting with the sun, right? And the solar rays, the great central sun, and all of those energies and light codes that are actually streaming on this planet, helping with the whole acceleration process, depending on your thought process or orientation. But anyway, Children of the Sun is coming through for me in this moment, but really, really beautiful. So, really invite in your inner lion, your inner lioness, that roar, really to help you to move forward, and again, have the courage to take aligned action. So I'm going to put this one here. I hope you can see that. Looks like you can. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I can see this in the one camera, but not on the other. All right, I'll pull them up again for you at the end because I don't think I have enough space on here. Okay, let me just give you the name of this card. I forgot what the name is called. I have like, this is like highlighted all over. I love this deck. So, oh, Lionheart. Duh, I forgot that. Okay. So protecting without sacrificing sensitivity, assertiveness without aggression, and the courage to feel and the willingness to act. So what we were talking about, right? To kind of feel the fear and do it anyway, again, from a place of divine discernment. Okay. I want to make sure that that's there. The horse with the heart of a lion moves steadfastly towards her goal. The gift of this card is human beings carry the wisdom of both predator and prey. The empowerment depends on finding the balance between the two. The challenge is cultivating the strength of your inner lion or lioness without letting it run amok, and that can be tricky. If you don't have enough lion, people will walk all over you, right? And you'll lack the conviction and focus to follow your dreams. If you have too much lion, you'll lose the sensitivity that nurtures relationship and creativity. So beautiful. So I'm gonna take a sip, and I sure hope this is streaming. Let me just check. Well, I'm just gonna leave it. I think it is. Okay, I'm going to give it another shuffle, and then we're going to go to the earth sign, which would be Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. So we'll just want to give that another. And so let us see. Earth signs. Okay. Okay. I don't remember this one. The number is 6. Okay, I'm going to hold that up for you. The number is 6. So again, we did talk about the cosmic parent, creativity, self-care, nurturing, right? And putting on that oxygen mask on first in terms of the number 6. Okay, and really, even that creativity, like that you're birthing something, right? Again, we talked about that baby. Now, these colors are really, before I pull this out, are interesting blend here of a little bit of purple, a little bit of yellow, and a little bit of white. And so, for me, that purple again is bringing in, the energies from the crown chakra, the higher wisdom that we want to be connected with, and then that yellow, of course, is our solar plexus. So again, the courage, energy, and actually I should have mentioned that for the other card as well. But the courage, right, and the willpower and the confidence and the certainty that lives in our solar plexus, as well as our gut intuition, again, which is also going to help us with our discernment. And then the white, of course, is that energy, really, for me, of light and purity. So let me put this down and pull this out. I'm getting a little bit of, when I look at this card, and I haven't looked at this one in a while, I'm getting a little bit of aggression in this card as well. So I feel like there might be something to that. Let's pull that out. So that was 6. Wait, I'm just going to move these here. Mess here. We'll shuffle it in between each one. So 6. So this is our earth signs, okay? Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. And as I mentioned earlier, remember to, take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? Okay, rivalry. Yeah, so that's right. It was interesting. I was seeing that sort of like kind of aggressive energy in that, right? So rivalry. So let me read here what she has here. Fear, aggression, competition for limited resources. Again, this is, all feels all tied in to the energies in the collective, right? And then, but moving beyond survival, right? The invitation to move to that next level beyond survival, to go above the, the root and rise, right? 2 exquisite white horses are caught in the embrace of rivalry. It's interesting she's saying they're white because to me, one of them has more yellow in it. But anyway, that's just, like I said, that's my intuitive hit. Okay, 2 exquisite white horses are caught in the embrace of rivalry. Dust flying, mane swirling in the wake of a potential storm. They need only to look around and within to realize that each has the power to enliven, protect, and nourish each other. The gift. Rivalry provokes new heights of mastery in sports, in business, in art, in life. Mature competitors who understand that the call to excel is ultimately within the self can benefit from the reflection, the inspiration, and the camaraderie that others provides. So yeah, I love this. And for me, it's just like the essence of a healthy competition, right? To be the best we can be. And sometimes having others, to do that with can help us to, push ourselves to the next level. But at the end of the day is really most important that, again, we are from within, like being the best we can be for ourselves, not to ever, override others, okay? So there's that balance there. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to take another sip. We're going to go to the water next. So our Pisces and Scorpio and Cancer babies are next. We'll do a quick shuffle here. These two, I have 2 cameras here, so I don't know. I'm kind of winging this. I don't know if you're able to see all of this, but it looks like from this camera you can. The other camera is okay. Anyway, we'll figure this out. We're just kind of winging it, like I said, and we're doing the best we can do. So we are going to ask Spirit for a message for our water babies, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And what do we have here? 23. Oh, I like this one. Okay, so let me set this here and I'll show you this card. Alrighty. So 23, interesting again, so a lot of the overlap and synchronicity. 23 actually is the number that is associated with the royal star of Regulus, who is actually our lion, right? And that, royal lion-hearted energy in terms of the number, okay? It also reduces to a 5, and 5 is all about change and transformation and acceleration and in some ways instability, right? But we need that instability, we need this change in order to grow and expand to our next level. And those are the numbers, okay? So when you look at this card here, you can hopefully see on this end here, there is a dark horse that's kind of off on its own, and then the others are kind of running in the other direction. And whoops. And for me, I really don't know which camera to hold this to. Anyway, for me, what's coming through when I look at this picture is like, that thing of not being a sheeple, right? Like, just like following, the crowds and what everybody else is doing, and really having that, again, that divine wisdom and power and courage to really maybe stop and connect with, and I love how the light is coming through here, connect with God, connect with source, and really make your own decision. Really, tune in to what is the truth and what is right for you and what feels aligned. And it's interesting to me also that this horse is dark, at least I can see it, okay, is darker, right? A dark horse compared to the others. And this is a whole other conversation, and at some point we'll probably do a call on this because I love this topic. But the wisdom of the dark horse is really steeped in mystery and the feminine and magic and really some really rich meaning, deep, rich meaning. So anyway, that is also coming through. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else here that wants to come through. Again, this is number 23. I'm going to go ahead and I guess I should be putting these over here for you. See this camera? Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to have to shuffle here in a minute. Okay, I'll line them all up for you in a moment. But I'll put this here for now while I'm reading this. Okay, number 23. So let's see, 23 is, and the herd, okay, power of the herd. Yeah, herd immunity, right? Okay, so authentic community, consensual leadership, balancing individual with group needs. So running across the open plain, a dark horse is captivated by sunlight shining through an apparition in the clouds. Pausing briefly, he gathers confidence in his unique talent and wisdom, preparing to accept a leadership role when he rejoins the herd. Yeah, that's really powerful. I'll speak on that in a moment. There's something I want to say there. But the gift, when we trade leadership roles according to who's calmest, clearest, and most creative in a given situation, the entire community benefits. The challenge, consensual leadership is not a job description, it's an improvisation. To be confident in your own dreams and talents while remaining responsive to the needs and gifts of others, you must check your ego at the gate. Okay, so yeah, this is a powerful one of balancing, really, and this really speaks to me because I just was talking about moving from Facebook and coming over here, and I did have to also work through some of my own even abandonment issues, if you will, because I felt like I was abandoning them, although I have invited them to join me over here, and I'm hoping that those who feel called will. But anyway, what I really wanted to speak to is when she talks about here, like pausing briefly, he gathers confidence in his unique talent and wisdom, preparing to accept a leadership role when he rejoins the herd. So sometimes, especially as sensitive souls, as creative, empathic, intuitive souls, right? Sometimes we need to, retreat. And for me, and I hate to bring in the Virgo thing, but anyway, it is, what it is, or, it resonates with me. So I have the Virgo sun, and I do, or I could just say I'm sensitive, and I do tend to require a certain amount of my private retreat hermit time in order to really get clear on things before I make decisions, right, moving forward. And what I want to say there is that I think it's so important for us to honor that, again, especially when you're sensitive, and if and when you feel called. For me, that message that I was sharing with you earlier in terms of like just not like following the masses, right, being a sheeple, and really taking that time to reflect for yourself. And then when you go back, you can come back from a place of integrity, from a place of leadership, from a place of really aligning with your truth and your source, your soul and your source, right? And so, I think that this is such a powerful message around learning to balance that. And I also want to add to this that sometimes, for those of us who are on this spiritual journey, right, sometimes when we're sort of like upgrading or rising to our next level, right? And there's no judgment here, but when we're rising to our next level, sometimes some of the people and the energy and the things around us may fall away. And really, for me, as I have been experiencing and witnessing, even every time I go through another sort of, rise or ascension, it feels like, a certain percentage of people will like, what is the word? Unsubscribe, right? From my email list, okay? Just as an example, right? And so, sometimes people will fall away when they're no longer aligned, and we don't want that to hold us back. And as we step into that next level at being in this vibration, we're going to attract then, the people who are sort of the soulmate, divine aligned, either followers, clients, community, etc. And so, I do want to take a moment if you are tuning into this, because again, this was sort of, a leap of faith, and I was a little nervous, again, switching directions over here onto YouTube. And my belief is that, those of you who are finding me, who feel called to join me, to feel called to follow me here on this channel. And by the way, if you are resonating, I hope you will support the channel by, at least liking or subscribing or sharing, or, whatever level feels called. But I want to just take a moment to thank you and acknowledge you, because for me, it is also a reflection of the new energies that I am vibrating, and therefore that are coming back to me. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so really powerful card. This was our water babies, right? The Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. Okay, so I'm going to put that there, and we're going to do our air, and that is going to be our Aquarius, our Gemini, and our Libra babies. So one last shuffle here, and we'll spread the cards. And what do we have for our air baby spirit? Oh, another really powerful. Okay, this is a very deep card for me as well. So this is Chiron, Chiron, the asteroid that is associated with the wounded healer. And I could talk a ton about this because I actually have a body of work called the Chiron Codes, but that's a whole other conversation, again, for another time. But this is the archetype, the centaur, that's associated with the wounded healer. And there is actually an asteroid or a small celestial body that is named after Chiron that was discovered in 1977. The half horse, half human speaks to this integration, this sacred union for me of both human intelligence as well as animal instinct. A little bit different, than this, obviously, but still, again, a fusion of really, at the end of the day, body, mind, and spirit. And interestingly, at that time when Chiron was discovered, that was in the 70s, right, when a lot of the holistic mind-body movements and modalities were coming online, chiropractic, etc., right? And so Chiron, if you look at, or if you're, I don't know if you're familiar with the myth or not, you can, look it up or Google it, and or maybe we'll do a course on that soon too, a class, a training on that too. But really, he goes through, in a nutshell, the core wound of rejection from his own mother, who, rejects him as a baby. And this core wound is what he goes on to, in his life journey to heal from that. And he ends up meeting the right mentors and teachers, and also creates his own healing, modalities because of his own wounding, and that allows him to actually become the healer for others, right? So with the wounded healer, really it's about empowering ourselves, to heal those core wounds, and knowing that there is gold, there is treasure in the trauma, right? And when we find that treasure, in part, not only are there gifts for ourselves to become whole and to integrate and heal, but now we are actually aligning with our purpose and how we're meant to serve and help others, right? So it's a really, really powerful card. Let's see what the number is, 34. So 34 reduces to the number 7. And 7, again, we had it earlier for this one. 7, and there's 2 7s here, so that's interesting. Whenever I see, doubles of something, there's that amplification of that energy. But the 7 is that, that wisdom. It is that really that inspiration, that lightning bolt inspiration, and really bringing our thoughts, down to earth, to form, right? And one of the most powerful ways that I know to do that is journaling. But anyway, that's another conversation. What else? The colors here, I love the, the pink in here. So for me, that really speaks to that heart, healing our hearts, right? And the heart, of course, is the portal, the gateway between our mental body and our physical body. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share the little, that card is, I've had that one marked. Okay, so Chiron, multidisciplinary genius, holistic healing, the wounded healer. The centaur rears with power and focus, aiming his bow at the heavens. The gift is an organic synergy of instinct, intuition, and reason that gives rise to true brilliance. The challenge is a deeper integration of body, mind, and spirit, sometimes emerges through an illness or an accident. This healing requires accessing the wisdom behind the wound. Okay? So really, really powerful. So that, again, is for our air signs, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So I'm going to actually do this here. This was a quick recap. This was our overarching theme, the vigilance, that is for everybody. Okay, we had the fire. I don't know if this is going to line up for you. We'll just do it this way. Okay, so we have the fire, the earth, the water. I hope you can see this. The water and the air. Oops. Oh my God, this is all on an angle. Okay, and then the air. Okay, so hopefully you can see that on the camera. I want to make sure in case you didn't earlier. And then again, I'll just put this on top as the vigilance. So yeah, I would love to hear any comments or questions, if anything resonated for you. And I hope you will join me next Wednesday. I plan to make this a regular thing, unless I let you know with a quickie video or a video in between. But my intention is to do this on Wednesdays. And I may intertwine with my unicorn or, some of the other decks, but this was dedicated to the spirit of the horse, right? So this was what I was guided to definitely be bringing in for sure. So yeah, I think we are good. I feel complete. Join me on Friday for Freedom Friday. I'm not sure of the topic just yet. And as a final note, if you are still here and you have been hearing me chat about my current course offering, Harness the Connection, where you can really get into a rich journey, really a magical journey of harnessing the connection with your beloved horse companions, animal companions, and heal and grow and expand in partnership with them. That course right now is on special just for a couple days longer. I can't keep it at this price forever. And there is a video, I'll link it below, that I did about supernatural healing for the horses and animals, because I have a special, energy toolkit, if you will, with some powerful activations in that course and so much more. So I'll leave those links below if you want to check it out. But just as a loving reminder, it is available just for a couple days longer at over 50% off at this time. So if you have any questions about that, please reach out. And again, this is, in case I didn't hold it long enough, these cards are from the Way of the Horse deck by Linda Kohanov. I hope that you found this helpful. Please let me know. And until next time, may the force of horse and source be with you. I love you. Namaste. Ciao for now.